I'm fired up and excited for Lena, Payton, Webb.
Woo! All right, while we're waiting on the video, don't start my time till the video starts. Okay? Y'all learned the game yesterday, if y'all paid attention. So after the video, he's going to show a QR code, right? Yeah. And you're going to text the word leadership to that number that's on there. Then you're going to come over here to lovely Miss Daria Rosen, and she's going to gift you with the gift that's going to keep giving to you, okay? So you want to get this gift. So the reasons why is, one, it's going to give you some steps on how to go from creativity to prosperity, amen? So you want to make sure you text that number when it comes, so y'all get a little precursor, so y'all going to be ready after they get ready, right? So we're going to use this time wisely.
There we go.
Oh, wait.
Hold on. Okay. Are we ready?
Yes.
You want me to go?
Start with me the sound.
I know, you want me to go?
Yes.
I don't hear, I have no sound. Nope, it's not. Hold on, let me try one more thing. Just give me a second, sorry.
Lena, as you were saying.
Yes, so text the number once you see the code on the screen. And the word is leadership. Leadership. She only got a few copies now. She only got a few copies. But we also have the copies of the 9 voices, 9 voices, 1 messages as well. So even if you don't get the bonus book, because the bonus book is the bomb, I'm telling you, it's the bomb. If you don't get the bonus book, you will still get an invite to the master class on how to create profitable pages. And you don't want to miss that class, I guarantee you. So make sure leadership, when he put the code up after the video, right, you want to do that so you can get the bonus book and you get the master class as well. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Woo! So, good morning again, and welcome to this space. Congratulations for all of you being here today. Let me ask you a question. I like people. Okay, so again, good morning, y'all. Good morning. So let me ask y'all a question. How many of you know that if you fail to use creativity in your business, you're leaving money on the table?
Yes.
We're going to talk about that a little bit here. Right? So first, before we jump into that, can I tell y'all just a little bit about myself?
Yes.
All right. So my name is Lena Payton Webb. I'm originally from across the street, across the bridge, or under the tunnel, whichever way you want to get there. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. So I live in Daphne, Alabama now. I've been there for about 4 years. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma of an amazing 8-month-old. And you know me, you know that is my best buddy, I'm telling you. So I'm a mom of 3 fur babies. I have Cosmo, Rocco, and Biscuit. Right? I am a certified graphic designer by trade of over 30+ years. I'm a digital artist. I'm a therapeutic art coach as well. Okay? I've worked for some of the top names in Detroit, like the Michigan Citizen newspaper, the Final Call newspaper, Little Caesar's Pizza from back in the day. Y'all remember? Before they had the hot reddish, though. This was before they had the hot reddish. So I worked for Pizza, yes. And then I worked for the first black print company in Detroit as well. So as y'all learned yesterday, I'm a retired veteran of 21 years, 11 months, and 7 days. So I've been featured in a lot of places, in a lot of spaces. It's in your book. Y'all can check that out. I'm going to use them all my time on that. But I've done a lot of things. And most recently, I was featured in a docu-series called Making of an Entrepreneur. Due to my contributions for using creativity to help my clients scale to the next level, right? The other thing I do is I am a director of a nonprofit called LitCon, where we put on these author events, and you are all invited. So go to litcon.org and learn more about that. We go to different spaces and places, and we bring authors together, community, and we have a good time. So make sure y'all check that out. So how many of y'all have ever been in charge of a lot of stuff? Yeah. I mean, she's like, I'm in charge of it 9. I don't want it, right? So a lot of stuff. So there was a time in my life when I was in charge of a lot of stuff. I was in charge of my kids. I was in charge of my dad. And I was in charge of 373 soldiers. Now, at this particular time in my life, I was living my best life. I was being all that I can be. When I tell y'all I was at the top of my game, I was at the top of my game. I was what they call a sergeant first class promoter.
Let's go.
I did that, right? I was an Army recruiter. I did that. I was what they call battle staff certified. They trained me specifically to take a group of folks to war and bring them back. I did that. And then I got the nerve to go from being enlisted to an Army officer. I did that. When I say I was being all I could be, I was being all that I could be. Living my best life. Until one day I take these kids to the doctor for what's supposed to have been some simple cheerleading business. Now I got this one kid. The doctor said, we need to take some blood. She just died. Oh, Lord Jesus, y'all got kids like that? this was a kid. So what does any good mother and leader do? I'm like, come on, doc, take my blood too. Let me show her how it's done. They take my blood, we leave on up out of there. Later on, I get the call. Lena, we need you to come back in here. Child, which one of y'all done left y'all stuff? That's my first thought. Who done left their book? Did y'all kids leave y'all stuff? They stuff everywhere. Who done left their book bag? Who done left their lunchbox? Who left your stuff at the doctor's office? They would say, the kids didn't leave their things. I'm thinking this time, right? We have your test results back, and you have leukemia.
Whoa.
My initial thought was like, lady, get off my phone. You got, not me. That's not mine. Y'all got it mixed up. So I refused to go back to that doctor. I go to another doctor, and the doctor to yield the same results. When I got these second results, I was distraught. I was mad. I was angry. I was confused. I was heartbroken. I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to feel. I'm thinking, how am I going to be here with cancer? And I got these kids. I got my dad. And I got these 373 soldiers depending on me. The next day, another nurse called. She's like, well, Lena, you need to come on up in here. I mean, they be happy when they call, too. We need you to come on in here so we can start this chemo. Ooh, I can't come up in here. I have nobody to help me. I got these kids, I got my dad, and I got
373.
Y'all got it, they couldn't fit. The next day, the social worker lady calls. Lena, it is imperative we get you in here. And now I'm getting upset. It takes a lot to get me upset, but I'm upset. I'm like, I know the nurse ladies, both 1 and 2, done told you I can't come up in there. I got these kids. I got my dad. And I got these 375 soldiers depending on me. She says, Lena, if you don't come up in here, you won't be there for your kids. You won't be there for your dad. And you definitely won't be there for them 373 soldiers I ain't even heard from today. She says, just come and see me. I said, well, what does this chemo treatment look like anyway? For me. See, I'm taking care of my dad who has, he has cancer, so I know what that looks like for him. What is that going to look like for me? She says, well, leukemia is what we call the silent killer. Most oftentimes, by the time people know they have it, it's too late. It's 4 months inpatient. I'm like, oh, geez, I know I ain't got time for this. 4 months inpatient. She says, just come see me. So I pack my kids. And my military folks, we know what TDY is, right? It's called a temporary duty assignment. My mindset goes to TDY. Lena, pack your stuff. You going TDY. Just do it. You've been trained for worse. That was my mindset. Pack my kids. We go into the hospital, and I'm like, okay, social worker lady, what you gonna do with these kids? Because they can't go nowhere. she says, she rolls out this recliner that folds out to a bed. And she said, they're just visiting, right? I'm like, no, you can't go nowhere. She said, they're just visiting, right? I said, okay, yeah, you say so, but I ain't going nowhere. So that's where the kids will stay for those 4 months between my floor and my dad's floor of the Carmana's Cancer Institute right over there in Detroit. So we're about a month in, and then with this treatment, and every day I made a new friend. My friend name was Charlene. Charlene was my chemo pole. Me and Charlene was thick as thieves. Every day, me and Charlene would walk down the hallways of the 11th floor of the Carmana's Cancer Institute. And why? Because I knew and I thought in my mind I was going back to the Army, and I had to be all that I can be. You can't leave from the front if you can't run, you can't jump, you can't do none of that. So I was going to walk them 2.5 miles every day at that Cancer Institute. So when I went back to work, I was going to be all I could be, right? So then one day, I'm in the Carmana's Cancer Institute, and I wake up, and I cannot see.
Oh.
I wake up and I cannot see. I wake up and I scream for the nurse. The nurse calls the doctor. The doctor don't know what's going on, why it's happening, what's the what? They don't know. They call to the Kresge Eye Institute for the specialists. The eye specialists come, they have no idea what is going on or why it's happening to me. I'm like, dear Lord, what are we doing? What are we doing? The cancer was one thing, but now I'm creative. What am I supposed to do with this? Better yet, how am I supposed to take care of my kids? How am I supposed to take care of my dad? How am I supposed to take care of them 373 soldiers? The Kresge Eye Institute flew in some specialists from out of state to come and see about me. They had no idea what the issue was. Some months would pass, and one day, a little volunteer lady walks into my room. Lights are off because the lights burn my eyes. The TV burned my eyes. I literally sat in that room for like 3 months in the dark. In the dark. And she would say, would you like some water? Would you like a book? Would you like a coloring book? And I would say, give me that water and give me that coloring book. So every day I would take that coloring book just like I walked the halls with Charlene, and I would force myself to try and see the lines. I would force myself to my eyes just watered, because I said, if I could only see the lines. So today I stand here with all of my sight, and I say all of my sight, I'm not talking about my physical sight, I'm talking about the sight of knowing why I was created, why I do what I do, why God put me here to help other entrepreneurs to get their message across to their clients in a unique and creative perspective. So I'm going to give you real quick 3 tips on how to go from creativity to prosperity. Tip 1, create the thing. Y'all say create the thing.
Create the thing.
And create your custom coloring book, create your custom workbook or self-help book. So let me tell you, I have a client, her name is Brittany. Brittany is a social worker, and she's getting, Lena, I can't relate. I'm having problems communicating with my clients. Well, Brittany, what do you need this thing to look like? So she gives me a list from A to Z of what she wants in it. And she had the nerve to include coloring pages of herself. And we do that. She had mindset things, breathing exercises, vision boards. Whatever it is that your clients need, that's what needs to be in your custom book, right? Tip number 2. You want to use that custom coloring book, workbook, or self-help book to offer it as a digital download. Well, Lena, what's a digital download? I'm glad you asked. How many of us like to get stuff right now? They pay, you get the money right now, they get their item right now. That's tip number 2. Then tip number 3, use that same digital custom coloring book, workbook, or self-help book and host your own retreats, webinars, seminars, masterclasses. Why? Because it's yours. It is enough content for you to slice that thing up if it's made correctly. Our clients use that as just a single source of income, and it is very lucrative. Why? Because it speaks uniquely to your clients and your brand. All right? So we got step 1, create the thing. Step 2, use it as a digital download. Step 3, your classes and retreats. Now, I hope y'all got those good notes. and I didn't see nobody go get the book with more chips in it. So I'm sure Daria gonna be waiting on y'all. Did they put the slide up? They didn't put the slide up. So they don't put that slide up. He's gonna put the slide up. They waiting on the slide. They trying to get all their stuff. So remember the word is leadership. So let me have y'all do this. So after you put you put that up. You probably think, well, Lena, my clients don't read, they don't write, they don't do none of that stuff. Why should I do that? Why should I create the thing? And I would say to you, it's because you have not used creativity properly in your business. You have not. So make sure you, once they get it up, make sure you go ahead and you you click this code. The word is leadership. I give you the phone number. Here's my phone. Text the word leadership to 833-951-2665. 833-951-2665. 833-951-2665. 833-951-2665. 833-951-2665. 833-951-2665. Okay, you gotta answer the question. A picture of me is gonna show up. Show her the picture. She wants the money book.
Well, you gotta wait till you get the full text. It's gonna ask you questions, so don't give it to them until they finish all this.
833-951-2665.
That's not
2665.
It
Oh, you
gives
have
you
to answer the
instructions,
question.
so make sure you follow.
It's gonna ask you for your
So
name.
until they get the picture.
The picture.
Yes. So you have to follow the instructions.
Okay,
So you get
so follow the instructions. So lastly, I want you to do this. Sit on the edge of your seat. Scoot to the edge of your seat. Everybody sit to the edge of your seat. Take your hands like this. And do like this. Now, when the next time you hear the name Lena Payton Webb and Blue Reflection Publishing, you would say, that Lena Payton Webb had me on the edge of my seat. Give her a round of applause. So, I am Lena Payton Webb, and I help authors, coaches, and consultants create additional streams of income